Yeah, it is, and yeah, I do. Hey, YouTube, welcome to another exciting adventure of current Christian commentary and news with your host, the Christian conservative pastor. Hopefully by now you're going to learn to love. Pastor Steve here with another quick one. I got to tell you, I've not been making a lot of videos lately, and you haven't seen me on video on camera lately. That's okay. People are getting sick of seeing me in my t-shirt anyway. It was my trademark, but maybe not so much. Anyway, long story short, before I get into this, this Facebook page, which thank you for those of you that have joined, I am now revolutionizing and turning into my Facebook page for current Christian commentary and news. The news is coming so fast and so furious, I literally just can't keep up with it on YouTube and make a YouTube video every time something takes place. So the current hot stuff is going to be right here on this Facebook page. All kinds of changes are going to come to it this week. But since you're, a subscriber, hopefully you subscribe, or you're a Facebook liker. I don't know. When you like my page, what's that mean? You're a liker, right? Okay. Well, I like you. You like me. Sounds like an episode from Mr. Rogers. At any rate, this is going to change. This is going to change to, it's still going to be Pastor Steve, but current Christian commentary news, because I just, these articles are just coming so fast and so furious, I just can't keep up with them all. All right, so here we go. Today's article, did the Clinton coup, the Clinton takeover of the United States government already take place, and are we asleep at the wheel? Now, I want you to pay attention to this congressman from Texas. I forget his name, doesn't really matter. I'll show you the clip in a minute. But he's challenging the FBI director, Richard Comey. Is that his first name? Yeah, Richard, isn't it? I think it is. Director James Comey, I'm sorry. FBI Director James Comey on the mountain of evidence that was presented to the FBI or not presented or obstructed with. And, of course, he chose not to press charges. Watch the video. I'll come back. I'll give you my theory, my new theory on the upcoming elections and martial law. But watch the video first, and I'll be back in a second.
My time's expired, but I have one last question, and I think that's important. At this point, based on everything, do you think that any laws were broken by Hillary Clinton or her lawyers?
Do I think that any laws were broken?
Yeah.
I don't think there's evidence to establish that.
Okay. Well, I think you're making my point when you say there's no evidence to establish that. Maybe not in the way she handled classified information, but with respect to obstruction of justice. And you've got a pen here. I just want to make sure the record's clear about the evidence that you didn't have, that you can't use to prove. So this comes from the FBI's own report. It says that the FBI didn't have the Clintons' personal Apple server used for Hillary Clinton work emails. That was never located, so the FBI could never examine it. An Apple MacBook laptop and thumb drive that contained Hillary Clinton's email archives was lost, so the FBI never examined that. 2 BlackBerry devices, provided the FBI didn't have SIM cards or SD data cards. 13 Hillary Clinton personal mobile devices were lost, discarded, or destroyed with a hammer, so the FBI clearly didn't examine those. Various server backups were deleted over time, so the FBI didn't examine that. After the State Department and my colleague Mr. Govt here notified Ms. Clinton that her records would be sought by the Benghazi Committee, copies of her emails on the laptops of both of her lawyers, Cheryl Mills and Harold Mills, and Heather Samuelson, were wiped clean with bleach bits, so the FBI didn't review that. After those emails were subpoenaed, Hillary Clinton's email archive was also permanently deleted from the Platte River Network with bleach bit, so the FBI didn't review that. And also after the subpoena, backups of the Platte River server were manually deleted. Now, Director, hopefully that list is substantially accurate because it comes from your own documents. My question to you is this. Any one of those in that very, very long list, to me, says obstruction of justice. Collectively, they scream obstruction of justice. And to ignore them, I think, really allows not just reasonable prosecutors, but reasonable people to believe that maybe the decision on this was made a long time ago not to prosecute Hillary Clinton.
Okay, well, there you have it. A mountain of evidence, no prosecution. The Clinton coup has already been successful. She has already succeeded. Now, let me tell you the way I think this might go. This is only a theory, but it's my theory, and it's a good one. Today in Hollywood, Florida, 8 people showed up for the grand opening of Hillary Clinton's headquarters in Hollywood, Florida. 8 Clinton supporters showed up. 12 or 14 black Trump supporters showed up in counter protest to Hillary. Hillary canceled the appearance at the Hollywood, Florida headquarters. I'll leave a link below for that story. It actually happened. There's a YouTube video. Okay, here's my theory. We know that after the last debate, even CNBC, liberal blogs everywhere that had an informal poll, the results were basically 3-1 in favor of Trump. Here's my theory. Remember, this is all due to Saul Alinsky. So, we have the election, and I know a lot of you are talking about martial law and not having an election, and all that's possible. We don't have the election because of war. We don't have the election because of a financial crisis or all the above. But think about this for a minute. We actually have the election, and Donald Trump wins by, I don't know, 65, 75, 80%. It's a landslide. It's beyond anybody's comparison. That's the way it looks in real life. I'm not just, looking at this through rose-colored glasses. I have hard evidence. You know what I'm talking about. Even Fox News came out with a poll that had Hillary ahead. But then when you dig into the dirt of Fox News, this is your Fox and Friends, folks. They sampled 47% of the sampling was likely Democrat voters, 31% Republican. Of course you're going to get a skewed result in favor of Hillary. But all of the informal polls have Trump ahead darn near 3-1. Landslide. So Trump wins a landslide victory. But they declare Hillary the winner. Hillary is the winner. She had the more electoral votes, however they want to spin it. Hillary won. Now, in an uproar, 70% of the country jumps up, and we have essentially civil war on our hands. Now, Mr. Obama, who promised to lower the levels of the sea when he first got inaugurated, he steps in and says, well, wait a minute, because he doesn't like Hillary, all right? I can't imagine him, and he hates Trump, but he doesn't like Hillary. So now they declare Hillary the winner, even though Trump gets, 75% of the vote in the United States, 30% of the black vote, never heard of before in the history of Republicans or elections. And now Mr. Obama steps up and says, well, because there's so much whatever, violence, uproar, civil war, whatever the case may be, I'm going to step in and I'm going to stay in office until we get this settled. Folks, we ain't going to get this settled. If my theory is correct, World War III will break out before we get this settled. The world economy will crash before we get this settled. It's just a theory, but it's a darn good one. Folks, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Don't forget to subscribe to my Facebook page, which is very shortly going to morph, I think, this week, into my current Christian commentary and news page, and that's where you can get me, folks. I'm on that page several times a day, and the way YouTube is treating us and others, with the censorship, at least Facebook, we can still survive for the time being. It really is the end of the world as we know it. By the way, I actually live there. That picture you're seeing right now, I actually live there. Southern Arizona. That on the other side of those mountains is Mexico, actually. At any rate, hey, God's best to you and yours. It really is the end of the world as we know it. But I feel fine, and I hope you do too. Until next time, we'll see you then. God bless.
It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. And I feel fine.
'This house is sure gone crazy.